every time I heard that verse, I felt encouraged. Like, God is with me, his rod and his staff, they comfort me. How could I ever feel like anything is against me? And so I always felt strong when I heard this verse. But recently in this season of my life, this verse came back, and now I focus on the beginning where it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley. And even some verses, it says the valley of the shadow of death. That's a dark valley if you're writing that verse, right? And so in this current season of my life, I walked through my darkest valley. I walked through that valley of shadow of death. And when I first was going to say this, I was going to say someone close to me passed away. But I really feel like I have to be honest of who that person was so you can understand the true battle that I was fighting, the weight of what I was going through. And so tomorrow actually makes 3 months since my father passed away. And it was sudden and unexpected, and I wasn't ready for it. I couldn't brace myself for it. And I remember when it happened, I was like, you know what, God? This hurts, but it's another battle, right? Another battle to fight. I'm a fighter. So when something comes at me, I'm kicking and screaming and yelling and jumping and doing whatever I gotta do. And I was like, God, this grief is not gonna take over me. This grief is not gonna win. This pain is not gonna change me. But if I'm being honest, the more I fought, the more exhausted I was. Like, fighting is hard, y'all. It is hard and it is tough, and I got tired of it. So I went in God's presence and I was like, why don't I feel better? Why am I still sad? Why don't I feel joy? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, right? I'm fighting. I'm doing everything you tell me to do. And he said to me, whoever asked you to fight? Who told you to do that? Who told you that you needed to do the kicking and the screaming and the yelling and the jumping? He said, I'm going to teach you to fight in a new way. And so Matthew 11:28 says, come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, I will give you rest. I don't think it was a mistake that he mentioned that verse earlier. I really think God is trying to tell us, I didn't say for you to go out and fight the battle and then come back when you're tired. I didn't say for you to go out and find the healing and then come back to me. I didn't say go find the solution and then come back to me. I said come to me. That is the only commandment I gave you. Come to me and I will give you rest. And there's something called the rim effect. And this takes place in the Grand Canyon in the valley. You can camp on the floor. And if you go there, in the middle of the night, the moon passes over the mountains and it becomes one of the darkest places on earth and the most quietest places on earth. But while you're there, the stars that were there above never shine the brightest and never look the closest. And so I really feel like God is telling us in this place, I didn't allow the darkness to be around you so you could see how dark it was. I allowed it to be around you so you could see how bright my mercy shines in the midst of it, how bright my love shines in the midst of it, how bright my mercy shines in the midst of it. I didn't allow the silence to be around you so you can hear how quiet it is, but so you can hear how loud my whispers have been, that I love you, that I'm here for you, that I've always protected you. And so I encourage you in this place, have you been fighting a battle that he never said for you to fight? I'm able to stand here today and tell you that my father passed away with joy in my heart because of a king who is fighting inside of me, because I'm no longer fighting my own battle anymore. He wanted to tell me to you this way. As long as you have air in your lungs and your arms have function, that means you can lift up your arms and give me praise. Before he called you warrior, he called you child. So you are the son and daughter of a king. So I encourage you in this moment, if you're comfortable with it, go ahead and lift your hands and begin to allow your father to fight the battle that he has already won.